Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with a school in Myrnam that's been taking a different approach to student learning. And our Zach Kenny has more on that.
Students here learn by adapting their own interests into their learning, making time in school more interesting and engaging.
All of the projects that we've been able to do here at Myrnam School have direct ties to especially the science curriculum from a lot of the subject areas from grade 4 to 12.
Projects that students work on here are large scale and take a lot of time. So as students slowly develop the project, they also learn what they would in a desk, but they immediately apply it into real-world situations.
It's great. I couldn't have any better learning opportunity, in my opinion, because like I said, I like to use my hands. But not just that, we're not getting it done for us. We're getting guided by Mr. T and all the other teachers in our shop.
Unlike traditional classrooms, classes here at New Myrnam are student-driven and student-organized. Teachers in class guide students through their own projects while also incorporating the curriculum, letting students learn while doing the tasks that interest them.
They love, students love the hands-on work with the projects. It's a real-world application. The work is challenging. I always say if the adults don't know the answer to the question when we start the project, you're onto a good project.
Each project revolves around energy conservation, such as a net zero tiny home, which is made from an old school bus that the school bought, or the hydroponic system, where students learn about plants and what it takes to grow them indoors.
Last year when we started the project and we were putting on ulay for underneath the flooring, we had math classes coming in and doing it during their math block, not during shop. So if something that we're doing in class ties in with it, all of a sudden we're in here and we're doing it hands-on and not just filling out a paper.
The school has been doing these projects for 6 years in a row and have even gotten the village of Myrnam to change bylaws due to the amazing advances at the school. Zach Kenny, Primetime Local News.
Holy Rosary High School had their first film festival on Thursday night. Our Callan Dunlop has more on that.
Holy Rosary was open last night to the general public with the goal of highlighting films that were created strictly by the students. Sky Ferguson, the teacher and organizer for this event, has been supportive of her students from the start.
They're going above and beyond. They're taking the bar, they're raising it higher, and they're raising it higher every single project. And this is important. This is what our future is. These will be our Netflix films, our people that are doing marketing for companies, viral TikToks. This is the future.
Janessa, a grade 12 student whom was taught by Sky every year since grade 8, has plenty to say about her.
Miss Ferguson, I always feel she's a very bright and lively person. She is very great with the class. She interacts with everyone, and she's always willing for everyone to strive to be their best person.
The goal of the film festival is to get students interested in all aspects of filmmaking.
I always enjoy coming up with the idea and then therefore putting it onto a script, onto a storyboard, and then getting into the filming. I love interacting with my actors and actresses. That's probably my best part.
With this being the first ever film festival, hopes are high that this could turn into an annual event.
I am absolutely overwhelmed by the amount of support that we got. This festival is really important because it's a moment for the kids to share their voice and all of their hard work, and it's surreal.
The night capped off with an award show. This has been Callan Dunlop, Primetime Local News.
Today is the first day of Lloydminster's annual Denham Chrysler car sale, and this year a newly released vehicle is being showcased and is turning the heads of many. The car sale includes 135 vehicles for guests to browse upon, but the all-new plug-in hybrid electric Jeep Grand Cherokee is what is catching everyone's attention.
This is a revolutionary new Grand Cherokee 4xe, so it's a plug-in electric hybrid, but it still has a 2-liter gas motor, so it solves a lot of the problems for people who are apprehensive about electric vehicles.
The vehicle offers a hybrid electric and e-safe driving mode, and the engine is a gas and electric range up to 42 kilometers with a total driving range of up to 761 kilometers.
The range is outstanding, the fuel economy is honestly unbelievable, but the best part about it is the power and the performance. This has 375 horsepower and working in a hybrid mode, so incredibly fast. Does a quarter mile in just over 13 seconds, which for an SUV is nuts.
This luxury Jeep is limited in supply, but you can check it out at the indoor car sale at the Culligan Water Alberta building on the Lloydminster Exhibition grounds until February 4th. City crews are nearing the completion of the Lloydminster-wide residential snow removal after the city saw a large amount of snowfall over the holidays.
There's been an immense amount of snow. I've talked to several people that have lived here a lot longer than I have, and they said it's been an awful long time since we saw this much snow this early in the year. I think that's what's predominant. We had several basically 1 foot snowfalls.
Now, the snow removal process started back on January 3rd, and this is the second residential snow removal the city has undertaken this winter. Snow in the orange, green, and pink zones have been removed. Crews are now working, though, on clearing the blue and yellow zones. While the weather has been warm this week, cold weather has made things more challenging for city crews.
No one wants to be outside working. I can tell you that heavy equipment doesn't like to work any better. The supply chain challenges, we've been very hesitant to stress the equipment because getting parts to replace it will be months, in not just a day or two, but months. We had a snowplow truck that was hit in a collision, and we're still trying to get it back on the road. 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks for parts.
The city is warning drivers that the center roadway windrows could last into the weekend, taking up to 4 days to remove them all. Now, it's a beautiful day here in Lloydminster, but is that going to continue into the weekend? Let's find out with Shelby Clark.
Thank you so much there, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, it was a gorgeous day here in the border city. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. I know I sure did. We saw a lot more sunshine peeking behind those clouds right off in the morning through the afternoon, which is always nice, you know, especially after that fog advisory. It's very nice to get that sunshine back. But for right now, we are just sitting at -5 with that wind chill feeling just past that -10 point, but we are still seeing that mixture of some sun and clouds. So hopefully everybody is still enjoying their day. Switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, we have warmed up slightly for today, with most spots following suit with us here in the border city, but most are around -3, -4 degrees. We are seeing that -5 there in Marwayne, while we are looking at that 2-degree point in Edmonton. So Edmonton is definitely looking a lot warmer compared to the rest, even those -2s up in Bonnyville and Cold Lake, and -1 over in Lac La Biche. So definitely seeing a warmer day today for sure. Switching over to our Saskatchewan side, they are kind of matching with us on the Alberta side, although looking slightly cooler in some spots, especially down in this area here. As we go a bit higher up, they are slightly warmer with around -2 to -4 degrees. Looking at that -5 and 6 here for St. Walburg and Meadow Lake. We go a bit lower and they start to cool down with that -6 in Macklin, and looking at -8 in Maidstone, and North Battleford is just at -7. But North Battleford will be going down to low -11 for their evening low temperature, so cooling down by a few degrees, but you know, still seeing a beautiful evening low temp, I would say, as we usually expect a lot worse. And then tomorrow for their Saturday, North Battleford is seeing a daytime high of -3. So a gorgeous day for North Battleford tomorrow. Hopefully seeing a mixture of some sun and cloud. They're expected to be mostly cloudy, but who knows, we may see that sun peek behind those clouds throughout the day. Looking at Cold Lake now, they'll be going down to low -9, so even seeing that single-digit evening low, which is very nice, just under that -10 point. And, you know, we're used to those -30s, so I don't think we can complain. And then even for tomorrow, their daytime high is that 1-degree mark for their daytime high, with partly sunny conditions. So even looking at a beautiful Saturday for Cold Lake. And now looking for us here in the border city, we are expected to go to that low of -4 for our evening low. You know, this is probably the warmest we've seen yet for this week for our evening low temperature. I definitely think you should cherish it, you know, reel it in right now, because we will be dropping low as we get into February. We will be seeing, you know, more of those extreme cold warnings hitting. And then for our Saturday, we are expecting a beautiful temperature with that 2 degrees for a daytime high, although expecting cloudier conditions, so not too much sun peeking behind those clouds that we saw today, but you never know. But I still think it's going to be quite warm with that 2 degrees, so make sure to go outside and have fun with your friends and family and enjoy it. And now ending off as always with some weather photo submissions. We got some nice ones here. This one is from Sanjeesh. Thank you so much for this as well. You've been sending a lot throughout the week, and I think you got some great photos here. You do a good job. I like seeing the frost on that tree. Another one here. Absolutely love to see that sunset. Great shot. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate everyone that went to our Facebook page and uploaded some nice, beautiful weather photos they got outside. A nice one here. Look at those trees. Great, great shot. Absolutely love to see it. I'm so glad that everybody was able to get some good photos as they were out and about. And this one is very cool. I really like this one, Janet. Love to see it. And that's all I have for now. Hope more coming up after the break.
Livestock Sales is back with sales in the new year, and with an update on prices and more, here's Thomas Wildman with this week's cattle report.
Thanks, guys. So starting on January 8th and running until just about till the end of this week is the National Western Stock Show, which takes place down in Denver, Colorado. It's probably one of the biggest shows in all of North America. Cattle from across Canada, as well as cattle down in the States, of course, and even probably some cattle from Mexico do show at the show, and of course lots of other animals, and they have a big rodeo down there. So it's a really big deal, and it's probably one of the most prestigious shows in the entire world. And one of our very own, Jim Pollock, was down at the National Western Stock Show, and he was recognized as the Canadian Cattleman of the Year down at the National Western Stock Show. Jim is well known in the Lakeland area and, of course, across Alberta and Saskatchewan and Canada as a really great cattleman. And what he does for this area, he works at Northern Livestock Sales, but is, of course, helpful all across at various sales throughout the year, and is just a great cattleman and has been doing this for a long time. And so big congratulations to Jim Pollock for winning this prestigious award. And we're very glad that he's with us here in Lloydminster and, of course, helping out the Canadian cattle industry. And here's a look at the market report for the week of January 16th to 20th here at Northern Livestock Sales. There was 3,809 cattle on offer. For slaughter cattle, young cows were a range of 95 to 110. D1 to D2 cows were 90 to 98. D3 cows were 75 to 85. Mature bulls were 120 to 135. Then looking at feeder cattle, steers were from 900 to 1,000 pounds were 220 to 235. 800 to 900 pounds were 235 to 245. 700 pounds to 800 pounds were 245 to 264. 600 pounds to 700 pounds were 260 to 295. 500 pounds to 600 pounds were 295 to 320. And 400 pounds to 500 pounds were 290 to 315. And now looking at the feeder heifers, 900 to 1,000 pounds were a range of 180 to 200, 800 to 900 pounds were 190 to 215, 700 pounds to 800 pounds were a range of 200 to 225, 600 pounds to 700 pounds were a range of 225 to 240, 500 pounds to 600 pounds were a range of 240 to 260, 400 pounds to 500 pounds were a range of 250 to 270. And that's going to about do it for the cattle report this week. For Primetime Local News, I'm Thomas Wildman.
Joined with the interim board director for the Vic Juba, Jordan Bolt. Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Vic Juba is a fantastic theater that does a lot for the arts within the city. They hold live music and plays, and they're just an important part of the community when it comes to the arts. Now, you're looking for board members on a volunteer basis. Tell me about the role and what people can expect if they want to join.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we are a volunteer board of directors. The purpose of the board is to assist the theater in achieving their mission and strategic goals, assisting the general manager in her duties, and the board develops policies kind of just to ensure the theater runs smoothly. So that's kind of the primary purpose of the board. As far as commitments, so we do have a monthly board meeting, and then there are also committee meetings. So board members will sit on various committees that might be ongoing committees or time limited specific committees for a specific purpose. So that's kind of the gamut of board purpose and involvement. And then there are fundraising events and other volunteer events that we like to get as many board members out to as possible.
That's amazing. So it's not a huge commitment, but there will be things that will require the attention of the board when they come up. Now, I said that the theater is a fantastic thing to have in the city for the arts. To you, how important is it to have something like the Vic Juba within the city?
Oh, I think it's extremely important. If this venue wasn't here, you'd probably have to travel, a couple hours at least to find something similar. It's honestly quite remarkable that a community like Lloydminster has something like this, and it doesn't just serve Lloydminster; it serves the surrounding communities as well. Like you mentioned, and it's not just the shows and acts that come, the musicians and comedians and all that kind of stuff. There's also dance competitions and band and a lot of up and coming youth that have interest in the arts, and without that, a lot of young people might not ever have that venue and spark that interest in the arts. So it's very key and important, I think, to the community and the surrounding area.
And if anybody wants to volunteer on the board, how can they do so and what should they know?
Yeah, so right now we're accepting applications until January 31st. If interested people would like to email board@vicjuba.ca, expressing their interest and just kind of give us a little, let us know who they are and what would make them a good candidate, for the board. Previous board experience would be an asset, but it's not, necessary. So we're just, looking for anyone who's interested in the performing arts and, would enjoy and like to be, part of the board and the organization to, lend their skills and expertise to keep. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary at the theater in September. So, we're looking just to keep it going for 20 years and beyond, right? So.
Yes, that's amazing. I was a theater kid in high school, so I understand the importance of keeping the arts alive. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Nothing specific. We're just, looking for board members, and we'll review them as they come in, and we'll be reaching out to candidates, if we, would like to follow up and maybe get some more information from them, after that January 31st deadline.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and hopefully this helps fill the Vic Juba's board.
You're welcome.
Coming up this weekend, the Lloydminster and District Fish and Game Association hope that you can join them for the Lloydminster Gun and Outdoor Sportsman Show. It's going to be right here at the Service Sports Centre, and they'll have everything you need to enjoy the great outdoors. Whether you love to go fishing, maybe you love to go hunting, maybe you love archery, they've got that and so much more that you're going to discover when you come down to the show this weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday, the show will open up at 10 a.m. It's $10 to get in. Kids 12 and under, they get in for free when accompanied by an adult. For more details on the show, you can go to lloydfishandgame.org. Get your ticket now for Telemiracle Steak Night, hosted by the Lloydminster Kinsman and Kinnett Club. Tickets are going quickly, so get yours before they're gone. The annual event this year, it's coming up on Saturday, February the 4th, and when you get your ticket, you get to enjoy a delicious steak supper. You get to take in some great live music from the milk-fed turkeys, plus they always have really unique items in their auction. To get your ticket before they're gone, get in touch with any member of the Lloydminster Kinsman and Kinnetts, and all proceeds raised will go to Telemiracle 47. And next Saturday, January the 28th, swimming in snowflakes will be taking place right here at the BioClean Aquatic Center. Get your tickets now for only $10. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
As always, we are joined here today for this week's entertainment panel, the lovely Abby St. John. Thank you so much for joining us today, Abby.
Of course, thank you. Of course, every Friday, we're always here.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Every Friday, everyone's excited.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
We're
I know we
definitely
are.
excited.
Yeah, that's facts. First on the go is a little bit of talk that's happening here, and for everybody that's a fan of the Bring It On kind of franchise series of all those movies, I think they're classics. But, recently it was just the 22nd anniversary of the first one with Bring It On with Gabrielle Union. And so far she was talking about doing a sequel about the Clovers, and she was saying that her character may have a teenager.
Yes.
And that might be what it's based on, with her teenager in the sequel.
Yes, she told ET that we've been developing a sequel that centers on the Clovers. We're working on it. And there's, different ideas that she bounced around. She's like, maybe Isis has a daughter who is a cheerleader, very talented cheerleader. Maybe I have a son. Maybe I have a non-binary kid. Maybe I don't have a kid. There's so many ideas that she has floating around, but she said that she's working on it. She's met with several big writers about it. I think if it's going to happen, I believe that she would want it to be perfect. Which is exactly what it should be. Anybody who's seen the first Bring It On movie, it's an iconic movie. It garnered a franchise. The second one, not great, but all the other ones are okay. The first one, very iconic. The Clovers itself, I think, is one of the most iconic cheerleading teams in movies or TV series. I think that they're fantastic, and they blew that movie away. I think without the Clovers in that movie and Gabrielle Union, I don't think it would have been as good as if they had something else or they had a different storyline. I am so excited for it. If this 100%. Does get off the ground and actually get the ball rolling and stuff.
To bring those classics back.
Exactly. And Gabrielle Union is fantastic in anything that she does. I love her. I think she's fantastic, and she's such an icon on and off the screen as well. She's saying that, she has kids herself. She has 2 daughters. So to be able to bring, kind of that to life with such an iconic character, I think it would be really good. But again, I don't want it to happen unless it's perfect.
Yeah, and from what I was saying before when it came to her just kind of announcing that, like you were just saying, could be a daughter, could be a son, non-binary child, who knows? Might not be anything, it's just a sequel. Another thing that was added to it with that tweet was Chloe Bailey actually was like, I'd love to be a part of it. And I was like, oh my Lord, this is almost a reality, because Chloe Bailey, as maybe being a part of that as the main person in that sequel, there's many, celebrities that could definitely be taking part in this movie and just make it another iconic movie to continue that franchise.
Exactly.
So if it's Chloe Bailey, I'm all for it.
Yes, and I'm excited for us to get more information. I'm excited for it to be confirmed, saying yes, it's happening, we're doing it, it's been greenlit.
Yep, and once we do, this will be back on the entertainment
yes,
panel. And we'll have a trailer, we'll have all of it.
Yeah,
I'm sure we're gonna get some information more on there soon. But one that we did get a little bit more information on is complete switch up, I guess, from topics. But we got Scream 6 and we got the trailer. Yes, we have the trailer that came out, and of course, we had that little teaser a bit recently. So now that we actually got a trailer, I think everybody's a lot more amped up for this. And we just finished watching that first one not too long ago. I definitely need to continue them. Because I never knew how hilarious those movies actually were. So even though, there's some pop-ups and stuff, but still they just seem like it's got kind of a good theme of just kind of making fun of scary movies almost, but having their own actual, horror person there. So I think we got to continue it. And also the Scream 6 trailer looks amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Huge Scream fan. I've said it many times. Everybody who knows me knows that Scream is my favorite slasher franchise. I absolutely love it. So seeing this full trailer got me even more excited. We got the teaser of them, so we knew that they were in New York. We get a little bit more information. They're in New York for a fresh start. And of course, Sam from the last movie, we find out that she is Billy Loomis's daughter, the killer from the first movie. So she feels like she has this darkness inside of her, which is understandable considering her father was a psycho.
Yeah, he was crazy.
So, she's kind of questioning that. And she's like, we came here for a fresh start, but this darkness has now followed me. And that darkness is in the form of a new killer who, of course, we don't know. Some things to note, the ghost face mask looks different. It looks old and worn. I have an idea that it could be the original killer's mask, so Billy's mask from the first movie. And then, of course, there's a scene in the trailer where Gail gets a phone call from the killer, and she's like, I've heard this routine 10 times from 10 different guys. Nothing happened. And then he says, there's never been one like me. I'm something different. There's some new cast members. Of course there has to be, because there needs to be more victims as well. Josh Segarra, Dermot Mulrooney, and Tony Revolori are just some to name. So it's going to be interesting to see those kind of characters, the new characters, come in on top of the survivors from the 5th movie, which is also super exciting. I'm still curious. I think the most curious point is Hayden Panettiere's part and Kirby's character. But I'm very excited. It's coming in theaters March 10th. Hopefully my expectations aren't too high and I'm left disappointed, but we'll see when it comes out.
Yeah, no, I think we need to continue for sure, because I definitely want to catch up, but also I think many people are in your shoes, that they are definitely excited for it, and of course with having that trailer out and everything, I think there's probably so many people that are in the same boat as well with the Hayden Panettiere thing, just kind of trying to figure that out.
Yes.
And make sure to catch up if you're in my shoes where you haven't seen all of them.
Yes, definitely. All the movies are on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
So
I'll be watching them. Okay, that's all the time we have for this week's entertainment panel. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Abby.
Of course, thank you.
And before we say goodbye on this Friday night, it's time for us to take a look and see who's taking home a Pet Pad gift card. Like always, we've seen a lot of cute pets this weekend. Sushi, you're taking home the top prize. What a cutie, Kim. Such a cute dog. Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful photo with us, and we'll be in contact with you to let you know how you can pick up that gift card. That's our show, though, on this Friday night. Thank you all so much for joining us, and have a great weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.